Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for clicking. That means a lot to you guys. Keep clicking. If you guys keep clicking, I'll keep making. In today's video that I really wanted to make, and something that I'm really excited to dive deep into. Obviously, this is our first wokeism of the season. It's very, very bad. Maybe the worst wokeism that we've gotten, even compared to 41. So I want to just dive into this, give my full opinion on it. Today's video is purely opinion. I'm going to go through specifically the tribal moment and just talk about how I just think it's stupid. But first, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff because it's easy, free, and it really helps the channel out. Okay, so quick recap for anyone who may have not watched. I know I have a lot of viewers who don't watch the season right now because of how bad 41 is. So essentially, there's the split twist where at the merge at the final 10, the tribe is split up into two tribes of 5, and they're both going to tribal, but the winner of the immunity challenge on each tribe gets immunity. But if you last the longest out of everybody, then your tribe gets to go second. And Drea had Jonathan on her team, and he lasted the longest, so she got to go second, and the other group of 5 got to go first. And so basically in the other group of 5, her ally Rocksroy tried to make an all-male alliance, and it failed, blew up in his face. Hai and Omar called it the misogyny club, and it ended up basically just getting him voted out. Hai and Omar flipped on Rocksroy, and Romeo had to vote Rocksroy since he had no other choice. And so it was very interesting position to be in for Rocksroy, but he is blindsided basically by his own doing and by his own aggressive gameplay there. And then when Drea walks in, because Rocksroy's on the jury, Drea's shocked because Rocksroy is Drea's #1 ally. You know, that's like her goat to drag to the end because nobody respects Rocksroy. And so she's pissed. For the first few times when Jeff tries to broach her about how she feels about that, she literally won't even answer. She just says, I don't know, hold on, I need to think. And then I think the third or fourth time after Jeff asks her, how do you feel about this? She makes it racial. So she says, it's always, black people go out one by one. And I was so happy to see many, I believe it's 4 black people get to the merge, and now they're just going one by one. And that's just, terrible. And she basically makes it about race when it doesn't really have to be. And Jonathan obviously doesn't like this. You can just tell from Jonathan's personality that he's not going to stand for some nonsense like that. Maryanne jumps in and basically agrees with Drea, and then they both start getting emotional and sobbing and stuff. Jonathan chimes in, and this is a pretty stupid idea from Jonathan, considering that, conservatives don't really get a voice on Survivor. He should not have spoke up, but I respect him as a person for speaking up, just not a player. So he speaks up and he's like, well, this isn't really about race. And then they both get angry. As soon as he starts to broach it, they basically say, no, Jonathan, you just don't understand. It's not that we're calling you racist. It's just unconscious bias, which is really just invisible racism that you need to look upside down at and put a blue light on. It's fake. I mean, it's a common talking point by these types of people when they can't back up their argument. No, it's just about this invisible thing that I can't really explain, that you'll just never know, but I can still use it in an argument. And Jonathan says, no, I just disagree with that. And they start screaming and yelling at Jonathan. This is what these people do when they're proved wrong. They just start yelling and screaming at the person. I've had it happen to me in my daily life. For those who don't know, I'm black. And so I've actually had people tell me that I'm oppressed, that I have to be oppressed, which is absolutely hilarious. Because I don't feel oppressed at all. But it's this type of mindset that drives this radical ideology. I mean, how do you think like this, where, because there was 2 black people voted off on the jury in a row in Chanel and Rocksroy, of which Drea votes out Chanel. Drea helps vote out Chanel, and so does Maryanne. It's absolutely hilarious, and it's just stupid. It's stupid stuff. It's them being hypocrites and just getting angry that they're being targeted. Drea was the target going in, but she senses danger since the 2 black people were on the jury. And then later in the tribal, Maryanne says that she, quote, can't vote for Drea. I can't make 3 black people go home in a row. It's absolutely stupid, and it focuses specifically on race. And then they both play their idols before the vote to show that they're not bluffing race, which I can respect. At least they didn't bluff race and then not play their idols. So they did like a Ben Driebergen and played their idols before the vote. Jeff allows this, and so now that Jonathan has immunity and Dre and Marianne play their idols, it leaves two people who are vulnerable. It's Lindsay and Tori, and the whole group is basically decided on Tori. Like, they all want to vote Tori, and so Tori says, okay, well, if they're gonna vote for me, I'll just publicly say that I'm going to play my shot in the dark. And so basically it comes down to whether or not Tori shot in the dark thing is safe or not safe. Jeff doesn't even vote. They just have a verbal vote, which is stupid. And then she gets her scroll thing and it says not safe, and she goes home because of this whole fiasco. We lost a big character in Tori. We got race politics where they didn't need to be. And this season that was doing so well in the woke department compared to last season, I have a theory, and I still have it, but it's definitely more shaky now. But I have a theory that the reason why this season took longer to come out, usually these even seasons come out, maybe February, late January, but this season came out in March, is because they saw the terrible ratings and response to 41, and they just switched up the whole edit. But with this, you can't not put it in because it's a big part of the strategy, which puts them in a bad spot. And now it goes to casting. If you're gonna cast these people who think in these very, very radical ways, then you can only expect types of things like this. To me, it's sad because these people genuinely think that they are being, picked off one by one because they're black. It's absolutely hilariously stupid. There is no long-term evidence to support that, and anyone who says that just doesn't know what they're talking about. And it's funny, it's like playing the wheel of oppression, because apparently Roxroy trying to make an all-male alliance, of which a female alliance has been made countless times, dozens of times on Survivor, but an all-male alliance is misogyny. So then if the person who got voted out is quote-unquote misogynistic, then why are you sad that they're gone? Shouldn't you be happy? Aren't you oppressed in this way and that way? Again, it's like you have to pick one. To me, it's a matter of them wanting to have the cake and eat it too, because you want to be oppressed. You want to have this get out of jail free card in everyday life and conversation, but you also say that you're a proud this, that you're a proud this, I'm an independent this and that. Well, are you oppressed or are you not? And which is the answer is no. And so if you want to be a strong blank or whatever, to me it's very hypocritical to then try and use the victim card. You can't be the oppressee and oppressor. That's not how life works. And I feel like these girls need to learn that lesson pretty soon, or else they're gonna run into some problems. But what do you think? Is voting out two black people back to back a quote-unquote problematic pattern, or is it just the game of Survivor playing out? Let me know in the comments. Again, none of this happens without you guys, Mr. Weird Guy spinning a weird microphone. So as always, thank you, and if that's what, talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.